A rational function is a polynomial where the polynomial in the denominator shouldn't be equal to 0. So how do we represent this? Before that, our game plan for today is to solve rational functions, to sketch rational function as well, and last is to determine the asymptotes and intercepts of the function. So yan yung tatlong yan yung gagawin natin ngayon. So let us define a rational function. In this case, what is a rational function? A rational function is a function that is the ratio of polynomials. So in here, meron tayong f of x equals p of x over q of x, where p of x is a polynomial, q of x is also a polynomial as well, where q of x dito, hindi dapat siya mag-equal sa 0. Otherwise, kung maging equal kay 0 yan, yan ay magiging undefined. Okay? So, dito, may condition tayo kay q of x, yung denominator natin, hindi dapat po equal yan sa 0. So, that is the basic definition of a rational function. So, a rational function is the form f of x equals p of x over q of x, where q of x is not equal to 0. An example of polynomials would be like this. So, we have function f, function g, and function h. So, in this case, these are the following examples of a polynomial. Let us represent a rational function. So, how do we represent a rational function in this case? First is, pag-aralan muna natin kung ano yung intercepts. Okay? So, meron tayong dalawang uri ng intercepts. Una, y-intercepts. Okay, pag sinabi nating y-intercept, ito yung intercept na nag-exist at nag-occur kay f at 0. So, ibig sabihin, yung x natin dito ay dapat equal sa 0 para mahanap natin yung y-intercepts. Another one is x-intercept. X-intercept of the graph of the rational function f of x, if it exists, occurs at the zeros of the numerator that are not zeros of the denominator. So basically speaking, may ginawa ko dito para mas madali natin mahanap yung y-intercepts and x-intercepts. So paano natin gagawin yan? Ito yung other form ng definition. Kapag y-intercepts ang hinahanap natin, we will let x equals 0. So, po-plug in lang natin yung 0 dun sa mga x natin. And dito naman sa x-intercepts, we will let f of x equals 0 in this case. Okay? Yung buong f of x or yung buong function, yun po yung lalagay natin kay, ang gagawin po natin dyan, gagawin natin siyang 0. So, let's have this example. So, we will find the x and y intercept of this example. So let's try. So f of x equals x plus 1 times x minus 3 times x plus 2 all over x minus 1 times x plus 3. So for our solution here, madali lang, no? Una, meron tayong y-intercept. Okay, hanapin muna natin ang y-intercept. So, dito sa y-intercept, we will let x equals 0. Okay? So, kung magiging 0 yung x natin, first meron tayong given, f of 0 equals, okay, this is the numerator. So, yung x plus 1 magiging 0 plus 1 times x minus 3 magiging 0 minus 3. In here, x plus 2, we have 0 plus 2. In the denominator, 0, 0 minus 1. And x plus 3 magiging 0 plus 3. Okay? So, in this case, ang gagawin natin, we will simplify the numbers inside the parentheses. Okay, isa-isayin natin. 0 plus 1, that is 1. 0 minus 3, that is negative 3. 0 plus 2, we have 2. 0 minus 1, that is negative 1. 0 plus 3, that is positive 3. Then, simplify natin yung ating numerator. 1 times negative 3 times 2, that is negative 6. Negative 1 times 3, we have negative 3. Also, pwede pa nating i-simplify yan. So, ang ating f of 0 is equal to positive 2. And that is the first step, no? Ang gagawin natin, magko-conclude na tayo dito. So, kung meron tayong 2, kapag sinubstitute natin yung 0, therefore, the y-intercept here, okay, the y-intercept is 2. And that's it. Okay, ganun lang siya. Ganun lang natin gagawin, no? Yung solution para mahanap natin yung y-intercept. Okay, let's try another one. Yung isa naman, yung isang intercept is the x-intercept. Okay, so how do we find the x-intercept? So what is the process? In this case, kagaya na sinabi ko kanina, we will let f of x. Okay, we will let f of x equals 0. So, dito, kapag ginawa nating 0 si f of x, so ginamit natin original equation, so that should be 0 equals, okay, isusulat natin, yan yung f of x, ginawa kong 0. Susulat natin yung numerator, we have x, in this case, by the way, lahat na yan, isusulat natin dito, x plus 1, times x minus 3, times x plus 2, all over x minus 1, times x plus 3. So, sinulat ko lang po yung given. Tapos dito, we can cross-multiply this polynomial to the 0 and this 1 to the numerator dun sa kabilang polynomial. So, meron tayong 0 times x minus 1 times x plus 3. Okay? Tapos, dito naman, isa, yung 1, multiply natin sa isa. Same lang naman din ang lalabas dyan. So, x plus 1 times x minus 3 times x plus 2. Ayan. So, we all know that if you multiply this 1 to 0, so, makakancel natin yan. So, that is 0. By the way, we have x plus 1 times x minus 3 times x plus 2. Okay. So, dito, hindi na tayo mahihirapang hanapin yung ating mga x-intercepts. Kasi kitang-kita na agad natin yan. So, paghihiwalayin lang po natin sila. Okay? So, yung unang x-intercept natin, we have, pag tinanggal muna natin to, no? Okay, ang matitira yung x plus 1 equals 0. So, sulat ko lang muna dito yung x plus 1 equals 0. So, in this case, gamitin ko naman ng gitna. Yung x minus 3 equals 0. At yung huli, x plus 2 equals 0. Okay. So, dito, kapag hinanap natin ng x, that is negative 1. We have x equals 3. X equals negative 2. So, and we have 3 intercepts, negative 1, positive 3, and negative 2. And that is the final answer here. Okay, so that is the x and y intercepts. In this case, we have the domain and range of a rational function. So, of course, so alam naman natin ang domain, ito yung mga set of all first components natin. Pero in this case, we will define the process how to find the domain of a rational function. So doon tayo mag-focus, okay, sa paghahanap ng mga domain natin. So itong dalawang process na to, 2 procedure lang gagawin natin. Una, we will set the denominator not equal to 0. Pangalawa, we will solve for x. And have a conclusion. So, yun lang, no? Proceed tayo. In this example, we will find the domain of a rational function. So, we have the given, find the domain of f of x equals 2x plus 1 all over 3x minus 2. First, let us write down the solution here. So, una, ito yung una natin gagawin para mahanap natin ang ating domain. Okay? So, we will set first the denominator. Okay? We will set the denominator not equal to 0. Okay? So, paano gagawin doon? Alam naman natin ang denominator dito. Okay? Dito sa given polynomial natin, given rational is 3x minus 2. Dapat yan ay not equal sa 0. So, isusulat lang natin siya dito. Okay? So, meron tayong, balitan natin yung ano. So, we have 3x minus 2. And that should not be equal to 0. Okay? So, yan ang ating equation. Next, para mahanap natin yung x dyan, no, we will add 2 both sides to basically eliminate the negative 2 dun sa left side. Okay? So, cancel natin yung negative 2 dito. Ang matitira dyan ay 3x. Yan. Not equal. Ang gagamitin natin to positive 2. Okay? So, hindi pa yan tapos. Hahanapin natin yung x. So, we will divide both sides by 3. Okay? 3 divides by itself. So, this should be cancelled. Okay? We have remaining x not equal to what? 2 over 3. And that's it. Meron na tayong x, no? So, dito, ang x natin ay dapat hindi equal sa 3. That's why, ito yung ating pangalawang step, no? So, we will define our answer. Basically, susulat lang natin siya. I-rewrite lang natin yung answer natin. It should be the step 2. Okay, ganito natin i-represent yung ating final answer, students. Okay? Actually, yung step 2 kasi is finding x, right? Dito, mag-conclude na lang tayo. So, therefore, itong 3 dots na yan, or the domain of a function is equal to x is the element of real number, okay, all real number, such that x is not equal to 2 over 3. So, ibig sabihin, lahat kasama maliban sa 2 over 3 sa given na to. So, this is our final answer and these are the domain of a given rational function. Okay? So, kasama si x lahat, maliban kay 2/3. So, in this case, let us solve for the range of a rational function naman. So, we have the same given, 2x plus 1 all over 3x minus 2. So, sulat natin dito yung ating solution. So, isa-isayin natin, no? Ano ba yung ating rational function? Ano ba yung ating range? Paano mahanap yung range? First is to replace, okay, ito yung process, no? First is to replace f of x, okay, with y. Okay? So that is our first step. Replace natin yung f of x with y. Itong f of x na to, papalitan natin yan ng y. Okay. So, yung ating original equation magiging y equals to, okay, in 2x plus 1 all over 3x minus 2. Okay, so that is the first step. Now let's proceed to the second step. For our second step, to find the range, we will solve for x. Okay? So, solve na natin yung x dito. How do we do it? First is um to cross multiply the 3x minus 2 dito sa y. Itong 1 naman, multiply natin sa 2x plus 1. Okay? So, cross product tayo. So, itong 3x minus 2, multiply natin sa y. So, how do we do this? We have 3x minus 2. In this case, okay, lagyan natin ng parenthesis times y. Okay? And that is equal to, yung 1 naman dito, multiply natin. Yung 1 dito, multiply natin sa 2x plus 1. Okay? So, we have 2x plus 1. Okay? So, same lang yan. And, hindi pa tapos yan, no? We will distribute the y sa 3x minus 2. So, yung 3x dito, distribute natin kay y, or multiply natin kay y, that is, we have 3x y. Okay? Next is negative 2 times y, that is negative 2y. Okay? Tapos, kokopyahin lang natin yung kabila. So, 2x plus 1. Okay? Hindi pa tayo tapos dyan. May gagawin tayo ditong malupit, no? Itong negative 2y, ang gagawin natin dito ay ililipat natin sa kabilang side. Okay? Kaya magbabago yung kanyang sign. Okay? Paano natin gagawin, no? Ayusin natin. Okay, itong 2x, papalit natin kay negative 2y. Si negative 2y ilalagay natin sa right side. Okay? Kaya you could add negative 2, positive 2y both sides. So we have 3x y. Magiging negative 2x equals, sa right side magiging 2y, positive 2y plus 1 na siya. Okay? Itong negative 2y, pinunta ko sa kabila, naging positive. Itong 2x, pinunta ko sa kabila, naging negative 2x. Okay? So, yun lang yung nangyari. Bakit ko ginawa yun? Kasi kailangan kong ilabas yung x dito. Okay? So, ilalabas natin kasi ang common factor nila is x. So, ilalabas lang natin yung x dyan. Okay? So, we have x times, sa loob, magiging 3y na siya, minus 2. Okay? Finactor out na natin si x. We have 2y plus 1 dun sa right side. Okay? So, ang next na gagawin natin dyan, we will divide both sides by 3y minus 2 because our aim is to solve for x. So, 3y minus 2 sa kabila din. Kung anong ginawa mo sa kabila, gawin mo rin sa kabila. No? Then, we can cancel 3y minus 2 dito sa left-hand side natin. Ang matitira dyan is, natin ilagay yung sagot, x equals 2y plus 1 all over 3y minus 2. And that's it. Okay? So, yun na yung ating x value. Okay, what is the next step? Kung mahanap na natin yan, ang third step natin, we will set, okay? Ang third step natin ay we will set the denominator, a denominator not equal, okay? Yung denominator, pwede siyang isulat na d, no? Not equal to 0. Okay? So, meron tayo ditong aninang x, di ba? Nagawa na natin. By the way, ito yung x natin. Ang denominator is 3y minus 2. Okay, dapat yan ay not equal kay 0. So, isulat natin dito yung 3y minus 2. 3y minus 2 and that is not equal to 0. Okay. Ang next step natin is to find the y. So we need to add both sides by 2 to cancel a negative 2. So we have 3y dun sa left side natin at yung 3y na yan not equal yan kay positive 2. And to find out the y value, we will divide both sides by 3. Okay? Dun sa left hand side natin, matitira dyan is y. Ang y natin ay not equal kay 2/3. Okay? And that should be the final answer here. Pero, ang tamang representation ng final answer natin would be our step 4. Okay? Ang step 4 natin, ganito natin susulat yung final answer. Therefore, the range, okay? The range, yung 3 dots na yan, therefore yan ha. Symbol lang therefore. The range is equal to, okay, the range is y is the element of the real number, lahat ng real number, lahat ng number except, no, 2/3. Okay, kaya meron not equal to 0 siya. So, lahat ng numbers kasama, pero hindi kasama si 2/3. And this is our final answer or final representation ng answer sa range of a rational function. Okay? Sige. Moving on. Let's try to identify the asymptotes of a rational function. So, ano ba ang asymptotes ng rational function? Okay, meron tayong tatlong uri ng asymptotes. Horizontal asymptotes, or pwede natin siya tawagin HA. Vertical asymptotes, ito yung tinatawag na VA, or slant asymptotes. Okay, so first is to find out the vertical asymptotes in this case. So what are the process of the vertical asymptotes? Una, simplify the function first to cancel all common factors. Pangalawa, we will set the denominator ngayon equal naman kay 0. And pangatlo, solve for the x value. So 3 simple steps ang kailangan natin masunod. So gawin natin siya dito. So for our example, we'll find the vertical asymptote. Okay, vertical asymptote or VA of the function f. In the function f, we have x squared plus 5x plus 6 all over x squared plus x minus 2. So may babalikan lang tayo ng konti dito sa topic, sa particular problem na to, no? For our solution, kailangan kasi natin muna, para mahanap natin yung vertical asymptote, simplify the function first, no? So kakancel natin ng mga common factors natin. So we need to simplify the given function. Okay, paano kaya natin siya simplify yan? First, mag-focus tayo dun sa numerator muna. Then mamaya, dun naman tayo sa denominator. So we have f of x equals, yung numerator natin, x squared plus 5x plus 6, we can factor them out. Okay, hanap tayo ng numbers, no? Na kapag multiply is the third. First is the first term muna, no? X times x is x squared. Dito, hanap tayo ng dalawang number na kapag kinuha yung product, yan. Kapag pinag-add yung middle term. So that is 2 and 3. So, pareha silang positive, no? So, bakit kaya nangyari yun? Kapag minultiply natin si 2 and 3, alam natin yan ay 6. Kapag pinag-add natin si 2 and 3, alam natin na yan ay magiging 5. Okay? Doon sa denominator naman, kunin natin yung factor nila. So, the factor would be, first is to factor out the x squared. X times x is equal to x squared. Next, factor natin, hanap tayong dalawang number na kapag kinuha natin product, negative 2 at 1 ang sum. So, that is 1 and positive 2. Dito, dahil positive ang ating middle term, lalagay natin sa malaking number. So, we have negative 1 and positive 2. Dito, kinancel natin si x plus 2 sa numerator at denominator. And that is equal to, ang matitira na lang is x plus 3 over x minus 1. Okay? So dahil parehas naman sila, cancel natin. So f of x equals x plus 3 over x minus 1. So that is the simplified form of the given function in this case. So anong next step natin? Okay, the second step would be like this. The second step is we need to determine or we need to set the denominator, okay, equal to 0 in this case. Then later on, solve for x. Okay? Meron tayong denominator dito na x minus 1. Itong x minus 1, i-equate natin yan kay 0. Ngayon, kopyahin natin ng x minus 1 dito. X minus 1 equals 0. And to find the value of x, we add both sides by 1. Then, cancel yung negative 1 dito. So, that is x equals positive 1. Then, we have the x value. Okay? So, hindi pa yan ang final representation ng sagot natin. So, ganito natin siya i-represent. Okay? Therefore, actually, thus, no? Now, thus, there is a vertical asymptote, no? Meron tayong vertical asymptote of the given rational function, of the given rational function, and that is x equals 1. Okay? So this is our final answer in this case, and that is how we interpret the final answer for our step 3. Okay? So that is the vertical asymptote. Now, let's move on to the horizontal asymptotes. And these are the 3 simple process. First is to find the degree of numerator. So, yung numerator natin can be represented by n, and denominator can be represented by d. So, we will check. So, that is the first step. Second one is check the following cases. Okay? Meron tayong 3 cases na ilalatag dito. Unang case, if n is less than d, or the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator, then there is a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. Okay? So, yun yung case number 1 natin. Ang y natin agad ay 0 kapag ganito. Yung degree ng numerator ay less than kay denominator. Case number 2, kapag si numerator naman o degree ng numerator ay greater than degree ng denominator, then there is no horizontal asymptote. Posible yon. Okay? Kapag mas malaki naman yung degree ng or exponent ng numerator, yung pinaka-highest degree niya dun sa denominator, then alam na agad natin yung sagot dyan. Walang horizontal asymptote. Pangatlo, case, if n or the degree of the numerator is equal to the denominator, then the horizontal asymptote is y equals the ratio of the leading coefficient. Okay? Kukunin natin yung leading coefficient, tapos i-divide lang natin silang dalawa, yung degree, yung coefficient ng numerator at yung coefficient ng denominator. And lastly, ang pinaka gagawin natin dyan, we will solve for the horizontal asymptotes. Okay? So let's try. For example, we have the horizontal asymptote here of a given function, and yung horizontal asymptote can be represented by HA. And then, I think same given to kanina, no? So, x squared plus 5x plus 6 all over x squared plus x minus 2. So, for our solution here, first, yung unang step natin dito ay we need to find out the degree or the highest degree of the numerator. Okay, the degree or the highest degree of the numerator. Also, the degree, okay, the degree of the denominator. Okay? So, in this case, yung degree na tinutukoy ko dito, yung pinaka-highest degree na. Okay? So, numerator can be written as n, denominator also d. So, dito, tignan lang natin itong highest degree natin, which is makikita sa numerator. Saan makikita yan? Sa first term, second term, or third term? Okay. Dito sa first term. So, because we are looking out the highest degree dun sa numerator, and that is x squared. Okay? Ang highest degree nila is 2. Dun sa numerator, ibig sabihin, yung n natin dito is equal to 2. Okay? So, yun yung numerator. Denominator naman, I think same lang din, no? So, ang denominator natin can be written as d. D is equal to 2 as well. So, sinulat lang natin yung mga degree nila. Then, the remarks. Okay? Tandaan niyo yung remarks. Anong meron sa kanilang dalawa? Are they greater than, equal, or less than? Yes, that is equal. Okay? So, N is equal to D. Okay? That is the first step. So, ngayon, gagamitin natin tong case 3 para makuha natin yung pinaka-final answer natin. Kasi nga, since N is equal to D, so nandun siya sa ating case 3. So, therefore, the second step, in this case, we have, for our case 3, we have HA equals Y equals the leading coefficient of the numerator. Okay, the leading coefficient of the numerator. All over the leading coefficient of the denominator. Okay, ano bang ibig sabihin ng leading coefficient na yan, no? Dun sa highest degree, hahanapin natin yung number o yung coefficient ng highest degree natin. Okay? So that is the ratio of the leading coefficient. Dito, sige, ibahin natin ng kulay para makita ninyo. Ang x squared ay merong 1 dyan. Okay? Yun yung leading coefficient na tinutukoy ko dito. So, ibig sabihin, ang leading coefficient ng numerator is 1. Ang leading coefficient ng denominator is 1 as well. Okay? Kapag sinulat natin yan dito, y equals 1 sa numerator at 1 sa denominator. And that is equal to 1. So, ganun lang siya kabilis at kadaling kunin. Ngayon, for our third and final step, isusulat lang natin siya ng maayos. Okay? So, paano natin siya isulat ng maayos? Therefore, thus, the horizontal asymptote or HA is y equals 1. And this gonna be our final solution in this case. And that is horizontal asymptote.